Nothing wrong with your family background, but you can't choose them. However, you can choose your friends. As my own life has developed, I have learned that true friendship is essential to the soul. I have learned that true friendship is essential to the soul. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? You see, in true friendship, there's some things that can happen that you cannot do with someone else. You can't even do with your own families. You see, you can share your secrets. You see, they can boost your self-confidence when no one else can. Because after all, your family is more critical of yourself than anyone else. You can be yourself. They intend to try to keep you away from being lonely. You can tell jokes that only that you two will know or get to know. I like to call it the inside jokes. You can look at somebody and they already know what you're talking about. They can be your partner in crime. They accept you when your family don't accept you. They encourage you when your family don't encourage you. I'm just being honest with you this morning. I can only talk about where I've seen, what I experienced. They intend to understand you in no ways that no one else understands you. They always make themselves available. They are good listeners. They give you their shoulder so you can cry on them. They really the only ones that can give you a reality check and you don't get mad about it. However, the most important thing that I've learned through friendships, through true friendship, is they show you unconditional love when no one else does. You see, these four friends, they was willing to carry their friends' problems to Jesus. So we can see that these four friends, they was loyal. You know, when I was looking at this passage, I've noticed something. So I'm like, well, Mark doesn't say this, so let me turn it to Matthew. So when I turned it to the very passage of Matthew, I noticed that it wasn't there as well. So I said, well, if Mark and Matthew don't say it, but let me go look at what Luke says. I went to Luke and I didn't see it there as well. The funny thing is, the person that was in the paralyzed state did not say anything. They did not communicate to their friends. They did not tell them what was going on. And in this particular passage, I don't know if it was somewhere else, but in this particular passage, it said that he was quiet because he didn't say anything at all. But there was four friends. There was four friends that was willing to pick him up and take him to the feet of Jesus. You see, if you was to scorch the scrappers, you would not get the nuggets that was meant to get out of this. So what's this nugget? What's this nugget? The strongest people make time to help others, even if they're struggling with their own personal limitations. The strongest people make time to help others, even if they are struggling with their own personal limitations. How many of us this morning are willing to carry someone else's problems before our own? We say we do, but are we actually living that? Because if we was actually living that, these innocent kids would not be dying without someone saying something. They lost their voice, but we don't voice our voice, so it's a losing battle. How many of us this morning are willing to carry someone else's problem to the feet of Jesus? Mercy. See, continue to dig deep a little bit more. I've learned that the importance of these four friends is this. You are as strong as your weakest link. To go one step even further, if everyone does their part, no one will be burnt out. If everyone does their part, no one will be burnt out. You see, in this today's culture, it's about the me, myself, and I. And we forgot about the next man. You see, to make it even more plainer, as Christians, we are supposed to be to a higher standard. But the majority of the problems happens right here in the church. I didn't say Metropolitan Amy Zion Church. No, I didn't. I would never do that. I might get cast out with the first stone. All I said was the church. You see, we can't expect the pastor to do anything and everything. We should put responsibility on that position, but we should not expect him to do everything. Especially in the way that this church is built up. Because the pastor is on an itinerant system. So we're not supposed to be here very long. So it really depends on the lay department to pick up and do things. Not only the lay department, just the individual themselves.
You're teaching now.
When we pick up behind someone else, the better we will be as a church. This morning I saw Brother Williams out there picking up trash. I kind of sit over there and I saw people walk right by him. Didn't even ask if he needed some help. But we say that we're Christians. So when I was walking up, I said, Brother Williams, thank you, but do you need some help? He told me no. I knew he would say no, but he told me no. I had to still ask.
That's right.
But the point that I'm trying to get to you this morning is we have to step in even when we don't want to step in. I might be stepping on somebody's feet this morning. But sometimes we got to get preached to. If everyone does their part, no one will be burnt out.
That's right. That's so true.
Point three. Look at somebody and say, don't place limitations on what God can do. Don't place limitations on what God can do. Obstacles, problems are not meant to keep us away from Christ. But in fact, they are created to bring us closer to Christ. What do you mean? 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 Well, what I mean is, how can I say this, Lord? Give me the words. As children they learn different lessons in life. And those different lessons are supposed to shape that person or that child to be a better person in the future, a better individual in the future. You see, most of those lessons are taught by the parents, but also the community, the church. When we deposit in our children, we expect a return. So I'm so radical to believe that the trials and tribulations that God places in front of us is to see how much we would do to get over that, but give God the credit. You see, the problem is not Jesus has gone anywhere. The problem is when we come into an obstacle, we forget where to put our faith in. We start to put our faith in the me, myself, and I, rather than putting it in Jesus Christ's hand. You see, the crowd in this passage represented obstacles that was meant to keep these four friends' faith away from getting to Jesus. You see, they said it was crowded on the inside, but it was so much crowded on the inside that it was affecting what was going on the outside. You see, that people represented an obstacle. That people representing us as individuals that are harboring secret sins. You see, that crowd represented us as individuals not letting our painful past go away. You see, that crowd represented obstacles. It represented problems that we are holding on to and won't let go away. Well, I'm not coming to church today because Sister said this, and Sister's going to be there. Well, I'm not coming to church today because Brother Mark didn't open up the door and I thought he should